Hello everyone, welcome back. Please comment, subscribe, folks. Comment, subscribe, like the videos. Also share the videos. I want to thank everyone that does like watching and share my videos. You folks are the absolute best. Listen folks, there's a link tree down below. Has links to all of my social media platforms. Please go down there, follow me across all my social media platforms and talk to me because I talk back. Also down there as well as the links to all of my YouTube pages. Please go down there, subscribe to all my YouTube pages and turn on your notifications so when I post content, you folks will be in the know. Listen folks, Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll be doing a live radio show. We'll be talking about the New York Jets. We'll be talking about a lot of things we got going on. We got the draft coming up. We're going to be discussing positions, all of that stuff. So call in. I take live callers. I love going back and forth with you folks about this football team. So with that said and done and put to the side, I'm going to talk to you folks today about the New York Jets cornerback position and some corners that I think the New York Jets could end up drafting in this upcoming draft, right? There's been a lot of talk about this Jets cornerback position, man, particularly going into, last season. There was a lot of speculation about it. A lot of people looking at our young secondary because we have a lot of young players there. And a lot of people said, hey, this young secondary is going to get chewed up this season. They're going to have a lot of issues. They're probably the weakest part of the defense. And I think that there was a lot of players that really showed up and showed out for us, and the secondary really wasn't that bad, and we're going to discuss that. So before I start talking about the players in the draft, I want to discuss some of the guys that we have here currently. And when you start to look at these guys, it may make you question if the Jets really need to take a cornerback high in this draft. So first guy you start to look at, of course, when you talk about our corners, is Bryce Hall. Bryce Hall was a guy that the Jets got in the draft pretty late. And going into the season, again, there was a lot of question marks about him, especially him being our number one corner. And let me tell you something, Bryce Hall stepped into that role and filled it very, very well. He did. He played extremely well for us this year. And I think a lot of people were surprised, like, wow, this kid really showed us that he has the talent to be there. He had 79 tackles. He had half of a sack. He had 16 pass deflections on the season. This guy played well. And if you want to really look at some of the things that he did well this season, a show of highlights. If you go back and you watch against the Bengals, this guy played extremely well in that game. Now, this was a game where a lot of people thought Jamar Chase was just going to have his way with the New York Jets. He was just going to do whatever. Not so much. He didn't have 400 yards against us like everybody thought, and a big part of that was Bryce Hall stepping up and holding his ground as number one corner. Played very well for us this season. I can't wait to see what he does when he comes back next season as well. The next guy that I think played pretty well for us in our secondary was Brandon Echols. Now, Brandon Echols is a guy, again, that we took late in the draft. He's a young player coming in. We're looking to see what we get from him. Early in the season, he did split time with Gardner. So we were like, okay, yeah, we'll see, what this guy's going to bring to the table. But as the season continued on, we saw flashes from this kid. We really did. He had some big plays and some big spots. We saw him get an interception in his play against Miami. He also returned that for a touchdown. We also saw him have a big interception against the Bucs as well. Now, the big thing about Echols is he's got to stay healthy. We saw him get nicked up throughout the season. There were even some games where he would miss drives because he would have, a little nicked up shoulder injury, or he would, his arm would get jacked up and then he'd come back, a couple drives later. He's got to clean that stuff up. He's missed, some time this year. But I'm telling you, when he's out there, this kid has shown us that he has extreme athletic ability. He's a little raw in coverage at times, but he has extreme athletic ability, and he will flash and give you some real big plays. So this is a guy, again, that stepped into that number two role as the season went on and really showed us something. Then you look at Michael Carter II, the other Michael Carter. Michael Carter II, here's a guy that came in as well as a rookie corner in the slot, and a lot of people were like, okay, we'll see what we get out of him. And this guy was one of the better young corners in the league. He was one of the better young slot corners in the league. To be completely honest, he really locked and clamped things down this year for us. He had 72 tackles. He also had a sack on the season. He made a lot of plays for us. Now, again, the thing with him is he's got to stay healthy. He missed a lot of time due to injury for us, really did. And it hurt our secondary when we were missing him at those times because he was playing so well in the slot. But this is a guy, again, that came in, and we didn't really know, what we're going to get out of him. There was a lot of talk in training camp that he was really flashing and that slot spot was really something that he had locked into, and it was his to lose. And I'm telling you, throughout the season, we continue to see that, wow, this kid is really flying off the pages when you look at what he's doing there in the slot. But he's got to stay healthy, man. But if he does, let me tell you something. This guy is something else, and I think he will remain healthy next season. Then you look at some of the moves that we made in free agency as well with DJ Reed. We were able to get DJ Reed in the building, paid him $33 million. This guy's coming in from Seattle. He's very familiar with Sulla's scheme and what we do here. He's a guy that's going to immediately probably step into that number 2 or number 1 corner spot. Now, in my opinion, I think he steps into the number 2 spot because Bryce Hall, in my brain, has the number 1 corner spot locked up, okay? So then you got DJ Reed into the mix as well, who's coming in. This is a young ascending corner that I think is definitely going to come in here and help better this secondary. So when you look at this secondary right now, you look at the cornerback position and you're saying, okay, you got Bryce Hall at number 1, who played extremely well. You got DJ Reed at that number 2 spot, who's stepping in, who's going to really help us. You got Echols probably competing possibly for that number 2 spot at this point, but, you know, seeing wherever he lands. Then you got Michael Carter II locking up that slot spot. If we take a corner at this point, where is he going to play? That's when you start to think, is corner really that much of a need at this point for the New York Jets? And it starts to make you kind of scratch your head like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Should the New York Jets really take a corner high? Who knows? But if you're forcing me to take a corner, right, and you look at the situation from another standpoint where you're saying, hey, we definitely need to take one. We want to continue to, you know, address the position. All right, cool. To me, hands down, the number 1 corner that I would look to take is Ahmad Sauce Gardner. Whoa, this guy jumps off the pages, okay? This guy jumps off the pages for me. Sauce Gardner, hands down, would be my pick. I'm coming out with the fire early. I want this kid, if we take a corner, this is the corner that I want us to take, okay? This kid from Cincy is unbelievable, all right? In his 3 years, he never allowed a TD against him. No one, and I'm talking no one he's played against in any single game has had higher than a 50% completion rate against him. 6'3", he's got it all, okay? He's got it all right? He's got it all. He's unbelievably athletic. His football IQ is off the charts. He can do every single thing that you need him to do. He also dissects things that are going on in front of him really quickly. You don't fool this guy, all right? He figures out what you're doing, and then he locks you down. I really like Sauce. I really like what he brings to the table. If the Jets go corner, he's the guy I want us to go after. Another guy that a lot of people are talking about as well is Derek Stingley. Now, Derek Stingley is a good player. This is a guy that has great ability. My issues with Derek Stingley, and the reason why I want to see the New York Jets stay away from him, is the injury history that he has, okay? This guy's coming off a lens frac injury. That foot injury just scares the living crap out of me, and I'm not interested, all right? The injury history and stuff like that, the New York Jets have been here before. We've taken players that have injury histories, and it just does not work out for us. I do not want to tempt fate. I don't want us to take Derek Stingley. I'm not interested in that. Let's stay away. I think we need to get as close as we can to the finished product, and bringing in a player that has the type of injuries that he has, no go here. Even though, again, I think he's a really good corner in this league, just the chances that you're going to take, the rolling the dice that you take with that injury stuff, I'm just not interested. There's also, you know, Trent McDuffie as well from Washington, who I think can come in here and do some things too. But again, my heads and shoulders above everyone else, to me, is Ahmad Gardner. I really like what he brings to the table. So comment down below. Let me know what you folks think. What are your thoughts about the New York Jets cornerback position? How do you think they should handle it? Do you think the Jets should take a corner high in the draft when you look at what we have currently on our roster? I want to hear from you folks. So comment down below. Let's go back and forth. You folks have a good one. Peace.